have a representation of the African diaspora, of the descendants of enslaved people. And also, sometimes with Africa, people forget that North Africa is also part of Africa. So I'm very proud that we are in this room together in this sense. So why tourism? Tourism is based on quite colonial extractive models still nowadays. And it holds also great power because tourism creates jobs. And it's also not just tourism where you travel someplace, it's also the fact that, there's agriculture, there's logistics, there's hospitality, there are so many sectors involved, meaning there are so many jobs involved as well for our youth. And currently nowadays, sometimes there's like a foreign investor having like all-in resort, so to say, and offering, not offering like the local people decent wages for their labor. So that's truly something that I'd love to change with my business. I offer things like cultural tours here in Netherlands. So Mama Bedanken tour in Amsterdam will be soon, but also impact trips and roots trips for our communities, so to say. And moving on to the GINI Impact Gala, where we're gathering today, is that it is actually the space yearly to host these post-colonial diaspora people. And this edition of 2026 is in collaboration with the Afro-Euro Foundation. I'm currently looking for Vincent Gambla, but I think he's receiving our yes, let's see. Well, we will be here shortly. Let me check. And one of the things that I also love to share is that in this room we're not only, sometimes you host events for only entrepreneurs or only non-profits, and community-based communities are not always gathering in one space. So I'm very happy today that we have like a representation of non-profits, businesses, individuals with nice ideas and those things as well. So that's how I would love to open here. And just quickly to scan the room, with the ones who identify as the following, please quickly raise their hands. So who identifies as entrepreneur? That's a lot of representation of the entrepreneurs. That's good. And who represents non-profits? I'm very happy to see this. And I know we do have artists and creatives in the house as well. I can see your hands. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Amazing. It's nice that I know everyone, that if I see someone not raising their hands, I know you're an artist. Maybe sometimes you do not think you're an artist, but you are. And just curious individuals with nice ideas that are not, that are contributing in another way. It's everyone, of course. Yeah. Nice. All these shy hands going up. And this is lovely. So this is the place to be. Are there any institutional partners? I'm looking. Yeah, amazing. We have a good representation of this as well. And any investors and policymakers in the house now? Amazing. Good to see. Well, the goal of the Impact Gala is to create visibility for people that will be on stage, because it's a great opportunity to actually share your story within a safe space and community, to create access to capital, but also to foster collaboration. I don't want anyone welcome outside of this room without at least one collaboration or new opportunity. So that's your job for this evening. Exactly. That having said, that was my opening statement. We also welcome honorable guests today. Some will still arrive. I will for now only introduce Lindsay Board Coffee. If you could please come to the stage and do your opening remarks.
One of my favorite artists, Prince, we love to get it. I prepared my speech the honorable guests at the back are sitting. Okay. I lost my whole everything. But the food was great, right?
Yeah.
Stand for the food.
Watch the floor, watch the floor.
Ja, sorry.
Zo goed opnieuw.
400 jaar. 400 years old. So I prepared my speech in Dutch, but I'm gonna do my best to translate it as we go along. So my name is Kofi Boon, and I'm a board member with NINSTE, that is the Dutch Institute for National Slavery and Heritage. And I was asked to speak on behalf of NINSTE, so I was planning to speak 2.5 minutes, but now I have to do it in English translate, so it's going to be 3.5 minutes. Bear with me, please, thank you. So what I would like to share with you that in my years as a teenager, I used to dwell a lot around the streets of Schiedam. I would sort of walk around a lot in the streets of Schiedam. And I was always looking for Italian ice. There was an Italian ice shop here in the Passage, in the Winkel Street, or in the shopping street of Schiedam. And I was also looking for music and rarities. Maybe you know that I'm a little bit old, so I'm talking about 40 years ago. There were a lot of shops and you could find a lot of nice stuff, a lot of rarities. So why did I come to Schiedam? Because I lived in the Franselaan. The Franselaan is a street on the border of Schiedam and Rotterdam. And the center of Schiedam was more close by for me to go than the center of Rotterdam. That's the reason why I came to the center of Schiedam a lot of times. So crossing borders, going to the other side, meeting new people, whether it's in physics, with your body, whether it's in your mind, is very important for an entrepreneur, crossing borders. And for me, crossing borders is something that I learned when I was a very little boy. I have to share a secret with you. When I was very young, my father started me tasting the taste of Geneva gin. Nowadays you see a lot of commercial on TV that's not healthy for young people to drink alcohol. But look how I came about, right? So I tasted gin on a very young age. And the smell and the taste stuck with me all those years. And when I think about Schiedam, and I see the old buildings, I think about the creativity that all those people put in building these buildings. The tenacity, the goal setting, the cooperation, and sometimes there was also opportunism involved, or how is that, slingsheid, trickery, right? And also colonial trade, because a lot of the buildings that you see here in Schiedam are built with money from colonial trade. So that's a little bit of a dark spot on the image of those buildings that we see here in the central Schiedam. So also this building where we are here now today is built with colonial money. Remember that. And when we talk about colonialism, yeah, we were enslaved and we were nothing, and we came into civilization, but that's bullshit. Sorry, excuse my language. Because you have to know, don't tell my chairman that I said this word. You have to know that at the time of colonialism, West Africa was a booming place. I'm going to repeat it. At the start of colonialism, West Africa was a booming place. People from all the world, Europe, China, the Middle East, came to West Africa to buy silk, linen, books, maritime maps, and so on, gold, silver, and so on and so forth. West Africa was a booming place at the start of colonialism. And we were so good in trade and what we did that they took the best and the brightest of us to the New World. The best landscapers, the best farmers, the best craftsmen, the best statesmen, the best managers, the best leaders, not the dumb people. So bear this in your mind. And so when I think about the African diaspora and I think about entrepreneurship, I think about what creativity do you have in your mind? What can you do with your hands? What can you build? What can you organize together? What can you bring as a new horizon to a country or to a business line? That's very important. So I have had the lucky opportunity to talk with some of you already, and I was thinking to myself, oh, that's great. It's those ideas, those energies, that potential. And I'm very glad that we live in a day, in a period in our life that we have the opportunity to get together. And our moderator was asking a few people, why are you here? And the answer that he gave, well, we're here to meet. But I think it's important that we meet in repetition. Today is here in Schiedam, tomorrow is in Amsterdam, and the day after that we're in Rotterdam. Why is it important? Because, okay, slavery is gone and our parents put a lot of effort to give us a bright future, and I think that it's very important that we grasp that bright future with two hands and set a new horizon and take the best out of us, work together and get a seat at the table so that we can shape our own future and that of our children. I wish you the best with that endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. It's really appreciated. And also, I didn't realize that Schiedam was actually a place where you were and your younger age. So that's
yesterday.
Coincidence. it's never a coincidence, actually. Well, next up, I would love to ask Abdullah on stage for Ask Me Anything. This was also the gentleman that was a little bit like, come on, an artist, yes you are. We'll give you the stage to introduce yourself and then start dialogue with people.
Yeah, thank you. Usually I do ask me anything with Dutch people, or sometimes like old wise people who don't know a lot about refugee, and then I just show them a little bit from my story, how I came here, or how I work, or what I do in the Netherlands. I give them like really short story from my life, and then I say to them, now you can ask me anything you want to ask a refugee, and then they will start asking me. But I think you have also questions. I don't know. Some people maybe didn't come with the boat. Some people may be born here. Some people may be not from Sudan. I'm from Sudan. My name is Abdel Hussein. And also, if you speak Dutch, you can find the Ask Me Anything documentary on VPRO. I went usually to the Rotary Club, the Lion clubs, tennis club, sometimes like really rich old people, they want just to book me for their family to know more about refugee. Het is niet altijd een beetje een soort oudachtige iemand, maar ik vind het ook een hele leuk om te doen.
Oh gosh.
That is why I went. But if you watch the documentary, you will know more. And I have also the subtitles in English. You can contact me. I send it to you. Please just don't put it on internet because we didn't subtitle it official. And VPRO will sue us if we share it because it's not official from them and the documentary is for them. but I can share it. One of the story I want to tell you is maybe I can ask you also to assist me later. Yes, with a little bit of music.
Ah, yeah?
Yes, it will be nice. I will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. And for you, I want to just ask you to sing for me when I sleep. And the song is like it's a Sudanese song. And I know you all can really good sing. We can test it now. Who can sing here? So, and who cannot sing?
Sorry.
Oh, okay, we will test it. Okay. Repeat after me. No, mano, ano, taal. More people, that's really nice. We will start good. Ano, 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 taal. Ano, 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 taal. Okay, now just the ladies. Okay, yes, the ladies. Ano, 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 taal. Ano, 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 taal. Mag wel iets hoger. Ano, taal. This is nice. When I sleep, please sing this for me. Niet alleen de vrouwen, ladies and the gentlemen. I stand in Reggio Calabria in Italy. You could say also Italy now. Waiting to the right moment to catch the train because I don't have any money and I have to use the train to come here. I don't have paper, I don't have money. I came right from Libya to Italy. But the conductor know that we don't have money and we want to take the train. He starts watching on me everywhere I go. And I watch him too. He came to me and he started asking. Io mi chiamo la Giudia, me ne sei capo, la meschica la nolo, oh no due. And me, Sudan, no trying. Me trying to Bushufu. Because at the time I don't speak English and the Italian people also not. He look at me and then he laughed and then he walked. And my eyes on him. Everywhere he go, I go with my eyes with him. After he disappeared a little bit, I go inside the train and I really looking for just place to hide. Every toilet I want to open is closed because they know the truth here. And then I find like a sleeping compartment. I go inside and I just go under the bench and I sleep. Like I think 5 minutes later, when whole family came inside the compartment with their luggage and they start putting them under the bench. In my face, in my stomach, and they just keeping like this. I'm not moving because they know how many space there. They just pushing it more and more, and I don't move. Afterward, they left and they sit on the bench, and the train start moving. And me, I start just to say, okay, it is not comfortable here, but it is at least really safety. No one will see me again. And a little bit evening came, and the family wants to sleep. And there, they put the bench together to make a bed to sleep. And when they start doing that, They start like a little bit space between the train and the bench. And the Italian man saw me sitting there. And I just don't move. And he think, maybe I'm tired or something like that. And he take his finger and he go to my stomach. And then he push me like that, and then I move, he move also, and he starts to talk with his family. He don't say the story is good. And then he started talking with his family. And then, what they did, they just give me a bottle of water, and they give me a towel. And when the train moved, it was really nice, but my head, between my head and the train was the air conditioner, and it was really not nice. And when they gave me the towel, I just take a sip of the water, because I was lying there, I think, for 4 hours or something like that. And I put the towel between my head and the air conditioner. And it was also a little bit night. And the air conditioner was like gone out because it's really, cold already. And they put off the light. And they went to sleep. And I feel really nice, really safety, and I went to sleep. Can you play for us a little bit and let them sing and let me sleep? You know that song, right? No, and that the guy is not okay. A conductor come inside the train, lights on again, and he start speaking with the family. He came there to check the ticket. He started speaking with the Italian family and speaking and speaking and speaking. And because I don't speak any Italian, I really don't know what they were saying. En hij zei, dit is wel echt een probleem. Want misschien deze mensen waren de hele tijd aan het vertellen dat ze echt een enge grote man zit onder de tafel hier. Hij zei, dit is really weird. I really don't know what they are saying now. I say it in Dutch because some people don't speak Dutch. And that's how I feel when I was there. And then the conductor say, ciao, ciao. I say, Alhamdulillah. The conductor is gone. And when the conductor gone, I really did 1, 2, and I say now I really going to sleep. And now I will ask, how many Dutch people we have here, like who really know the Dutch language here? Yeah, hoe heet het? Slaap, kindje, slaap. De loten schaap. Die schaap met witte voetjes. Zoetjes. Slaap, kindje, slaap. De loten schaap. When the conductor leaves, I say, I really need a Dutch liedje to sleep. Oké, deze liedje dan ga ik slapen en dan blijf zingen totdat ik slaap. Alsjeblieft, die mensen niet stoppen. Bismillah. Mag wel over. Niet overtuigd, alsjeblieft. Nog één keer en daarna misschien ga ik slapen. Slaap, kindje, slaap. Nog harder, alsjeblieft, mensen. Ik ga echt jullie paspoorten afpakken. Deze liedje vinden jullie niet. Oké, laatste keer alsjeblieft lieve mensen samen met elkaar. Slaap, kindje, slaap. Naar buiten lopen schaap. Schaap met witte voetjes. Die wezen met z'n voetjes. Slaap, kindje, slaap. Naar buiten lopen schaap. En dan is het Roma! Dankjewel. Even één vraag.
I'm switching to English automatically. Thank you so much. So, because of the time, we will not ask me anything right now. However, as I said, nobody walks out of this room without a new opportunity. So I would love to ask you, what is your biggest ask today to the audience, and what's the love for you?
If you want to hear, then go to sleep. Ask me to say simple and no. If you have any, if you are like, if you have a company with a lot of people or friends, you want to them to know more about theater, a little bit politics, history about Africa or something like that, just book me, or for like dark voorzitter or something like that. Yes, you can call me for this. And please check my my work also. Thank you.
Amazing, thank you so much. We will transition into a trigger panel about capital. And we will do the panel in the corner over there at the Chesterfield couches, I think. So I would love to ask the jury already to place themselves to the couches. And let's transition softly first. There will be some snacks and quick refills, but we will continue with others.
Where's the plate on that? Yeah, let's do this. Where do we ever? I was seeing school. We are the jury board.
Sorry, car.
Right. You know Ivan? Yeah?
Yes.
Maar wij komen
Het is wel.
Yeah, more things.
Ja, is het de bedoeling dat maar ook valt zich bij de
Is het niet? Ja, dat is absurd.
Lekker.
Was goed? Goed? Ja, zeker. Nou, dank je. Dat moet je niet aan mij doen. Oh, dat is het. Ja. Oh, nee. Oh, dat is niet echt wat ik vond het interessant.
Dat is wat ik me net aan denk.
Ja, maar je weet nog niet.
Ja.
Dit is jouw, zeg maar, jouw volgende taak? Nou, even rustig hoor.
Wat ik ben ik van een lijst gelopen.
Kijk,
Ja. Dus soort van kan het toen zien.
ja. Daar, je hebt generally waar moet je zoeken? Oh.
Right, right. Take your seats once again. Get ready to get introduced by the jury.
Ja, maar het is niet helemaal mijn eigen zin op. En deze vandaag niet kunnen we gaan het laten zien.
Okay. Als iedereen er weer klaar is, I'm switching to Dutch. When everyone is ready, please transition. Take your seats, take your seats.
Oké, lieve mensen, als jullie klaar zijn, kunnen we lekker
That's the
beginnen.
right one, that's not the right one. Please. An apology, right? Alright, take your seats, see drinks are getting served. I see this big smile over there. That's yours? Yeah. Alright, I feel like we're already almost sitting back. Okay, I'm here the final creaks of the building. It's quite noisy, as I see. Oh, it's colonial, right? Exactly, they're spooky. Alright, I feel like everyone is already back in their seats. That's amazing. Alright. Because we will have a GINI Impact Makers or GINI Impact Awards to give out. We will first wait a second. Okay, we will introduce the jury, but we will introduce them not like in simple, like, hey, who are we and what is it? We will actually have a small conversation about access to capital. And when we talk about capital, well, one of the things that is interesting of this evening, and like main point, is that well, for certain things we do pay, and for certain things we still need to learn that we need to pay for it. And especially creatives and artists are usually underpaid, so to say. And it's very beautiful that we had the intro of the GINI Impact Gala with two artists already, and to start a conversation about capital and access to it. Yeah, so capital is not only financial capital and money in the bank, and actually this is something we have also mentioned earlier, because capital can be many things. It can be social capital, it can be spiritual capital, financial, as we said, and I think we will just go with those three to do that. And of course, as we are now doing African-diaspora impact, so to say, unfortunately, most of our ancestors and actually current day people as well do sometimes lack the access of capital. All these three capitals that I just expressed, like historically, capital has been extracted. Labor, especially creative and cultural, emotional labor, has been undervalued and, of course, underpaid. So I will first give the jury a moment to simply introduce themselves, and then we'll start the dialogue. And I will ask Karim first.
All right. So my name is Karim Al-Tifi. I've lived in the Netherlands for 8 years. Over those 8 years, I've had the pleasure of starting 3 different businesses. Really focused on initially supporting the international community and helping internationals feel more welcome. These days, I run a small agency that's focused on supporting talent leaders to build engagement within their organizations. I'm also a speaker and facilitator, and happy to add a bit of sort of North African nuance and Egyptian energy to this conversation. So that's me.
So much. Let's move to Dr. Beverly, right? Am I speaking it right?
I'm Dr. Margaret J. Benjamin. I'm a doctor in philosophy, author, and also a business owner. That's basically my name. I need to speak up? Okay. So my name is Dr. Margaret J. Benjamin. I'm a doctor in philosophy and an author and also a business owner. And besides that, I'm also a candidate for the City Council in Den Haag, CDA number 7. What do I do is I give advice to companies based on their compliance and legal issues, restructuring and placing the things in order. For instance, requirements of what the Dutch government requires you to do when you have a business. So that's where I come in as an interim director to set up your business or restructure your business or scale up your business if you are ready to scale up. That's me.
Thank you, Virginia, and thank you to everyone that's here. It's an honor to be here. My name is Naomi Weerman, and I'm a chair at the Stichtse Weg, Comité Stichtse Weg, where I live. And I'm also the founder of Akumba Communications and also a partner at Neon Black Investments. And I'm really happy and honored to be here. I see it as an opportunity to connect with each other. I see that there's a lot of bridges to be built to gain strength in our community. This is my passion. It's a question that guides me always to see how we can, you know, get stronger together and not work solo, because I think at solo you can go really fast, but together we can go really long and strong. So I'm really happy that we are in this room. Thank you so much.
And I'm Ruben Brave, born and raised in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam actually, 51 years old. I have Surinamese roots, so I have African roots, but also Indian roots, and also Jewish roots. Yeah, I'm what they call a serial tech founder, so I've built multiple corporate ventures in the Netherlands. I think the most well known is Oranje, Our Orange. It's a joint venture between the Dutch Royal Soccer Association and the Code Media. But also I was instrumental in creating one of the first internet service providers in the Netherlands. Recently I was asked by the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate with the question, how can we make the Dutch startup ecosystem more inclusive? From that exploration, where I interviewed more than 450 people actually, a very intense exploration, I created the Dutch New Narrative Lab, which is an initiative, non-profit initiative, to give a boost to innovative entrepreneurship for founders from underrepresented groups. And this is where I met Virginia. So Virginia, actually, she enrolled in one of our short track accelerator programs, and she was the valedictorian of the cohort. So that means she was the best applicant of the cohort.
Thank you so much, everyone. All right. Regarding capital and access to it, I would love to ask any of you, starting with Karim, how that is for you, and with like what your initiative is. Like, is it a non-profit? Is it a business? And how do you experience access to capital, and not only financial capital, please?
Well, in my case, as an agency founder and as an active facilitator and speaker, a lot of my capital is built on trust. You know, connections, opportunities, and this sort of give and take of voice and opinion. I am deliberately quite selective with whether it's the founders or the organizations I choose to directly work with. So there's always this sense of, how do you find that fit? And I now recognize that a lot of my ability to say no, to choose to not be present, to choose to engage, has come from the capital I've cultivated over the years. Because people already know what I do, people already know what I bring to the table. And I think there's a sort of two types of capital if you look at it. There's capital that's innate to you, to your circumstances, what you were born with, think the languages you speak, think the cultures you're exposed to, the sort of save of interest, as we would say. And then there's capital you cultivate, whether that's investment, if you look at financial capital, having people backing you, or just the ability to walk into a room and create opportunities for yourself based off of the impact you've made or how doors have opened up for you. And in my case, I'm constantly working at cultivating my capital because that's what you do when you're a growing founder. You need to make sure people know your name, people know what you're all about. But there's also a sense of fear, if I'm honest. I mean, we're in a safe space. This is a room amongst people who I'm sure will get it. Once you start cultivating capital, you're also very aware of how quickly it can be taken away. When business is built on reputation, on connection, it can be very easily transformed, misconstrued. So there's always a sense of, careful, don't forget where you started. And at the end of the day, as much as I wish I could sit here and say, all you need is a dream, we are in a nation of gatekeepers. And I felt that. I mean, I've been active in this entrepreneurship ecosystem since right after I moved for 8 years. And it's only now that people come to me and they're like, oh, we want you to do this. Or, hey, do you have an opinion on that? And that took years to break in, to be a voice that's heard. So I guess my wish today is that if we all choose to come together, we can alleviate those struggles for up-and-coming founders so that they don't have to face the pains we do.
Does anyone of you wants to elaborate on this?
I would like to say something about this. Thank you. A great example, exactly, and it gave me an insight on my journey also. I'm half Dutch, half Surinamese, and my part of looking for this black part in me was a journey that was a long journey for me to also cultivate. But along my journey, I met a couple of really interesting people. For example, GINI, they're going to be here today also. They really embraced me when I was looking for this part of me that I could not find somewhere else, you know? I was looking for it with my family, for example. I could not find it there. And they gave me something about something that I had cultivated before. So we bonded, we worked together, and now GINI is on the 3rd year of organizing the Winterbeurs. This is like an exceptional event, and they did it all on their own money with their own people. And this year is going to be the first year that they're going to have a subsidy, and I'm going to help them also with that. So this is how we work together. This is how I see that we grow together and that we thrive instead of just surviving. Thank you.
Yeah. So I can also respond to that. Yeah, I really like this what you mentioned. The small, actually, you said big, which is, in my perspective, a form of spiritual capital. Where you are giving meaning to the relationship to your surroundings, but also to yourself. And for me, growing up in a Dutch society, it was the most important form of capital, actually. That was for me, I think someone talked about the source. That was the song, the source. For me, that was actually the source of strength, of having faith when things were not going as I wanted to go. But also seeing the struggle of enslavement actually as a test, actually. Something that shows the power of resilience. So for me, I never saw person said it looked like nothing. I never saw it as nothing. I thought, well, if we're able to survive hundreds of years of oppression, why bother with some narrow-minded people around you? See? So, yeah, that's my reflection.
I want to say something about that as well. When I started my business in 2020, I was working under a boss and I felt like I was being oppressed. I told my boss I want to do my PhD. She thought it doesn't fit in this company, this out of the league. It is something that, you know, it is too high or you are aiming too high. That's what they told me. Then I told myself, so how am I going to be able to finance this? Because when I went to various universities, they told me that the research is actually impossible to be doing. Yet I did it, I'm done. And now they're coming back and I'm doing the freelance projects for them. Now they're paying me like 10 times more than I was earning, but fine. What I want to say with this story is that, you know, sometimes starting a business is not only about scaling up very fast and getting money out of it. No, it is also about having a certain skill. And that is what I learned along the way, on the hard way, by the way. But yes, I learned it. And now I'm giving back to the community. And also to the workforce. Giving back to the community, I saw that, you know, I'm not, I was giving a lot, like helping people with the basic things, like getting subsidies done, getting legal issues within our system being stuck, the bureaucracy. That is a lot in Den Haag. I don't know about the rest of the Netherlands, but it is a lot in Den Haag, so that you can get further. So what I started last year is that, you know, because I can't do it alone and I need more time, I started a social enterprise on that level as well. So combining those two things is like giving back to the community, but also taking from the corporate world and knowing that having a skill and pushing through, it's really a great combination to have, having that kind of freedom. To be able to do whatever you want to do and bringing your passion together with what you have learned is just great.
Now, I would love to ask someone from the audience to ask a specific question to one of the jurors regarding capital in whatever sense. So, who has? Yes, over there. Yes. Please state your name and do not forget to state also your biggest loss in the meantime as well. While you have a mic.
Well, in the meantime, should I say? Okay. Well, my name is Breaker, and my last name always gives people a tickle, but my last name is Mwasije. It means somebody that you can trust. So I'm Ugandan, and also Dutch at the same time. About my ask, I think I'll ask that a bit later on. I just want to go straight to the question that I want to ask. It's good that the panelists are talking about capital, and I think the biggest thing right now is, I think Robin talked about spiritual capital. She talked about the social capital. You did the same. I do realize that these are the three fundamentals in terms of capital classification, right? Now, my question is then, since you walk the path, and again, everyone here is witness of your work and exactly what you're talking about right now. I'm talking about the reality of it all, in terms of, if we walk out of this room, how quick can someone access you? Because that's the big situation. We meet in a room, we talk, we exchange business cards, and then once we start calling each other, it becomes a roller coaster. So if we're talking about capital cultivation, how can we be able to access it?
Nice question.
Well, I mean, I'd love to, Virginia, for a moment, I'll pass it on to our panelists as well. But, because I know you said for one panelist, this is too important in my opinion. access is everything. I'm glad you brought up that word. And I think it's ultimately our commitment as established founders, as facilitators of ecosystems, as people with access to certain systems, to create space. And at least for me, I try my best to be as available as possible to whomever chooses to reach out to me, because it wasn't that long ago that I was doing the reaching out, to be fair. And I vividly remember a couple of days ago, actually, I was on a call with someone and they asked me, do you need anything? Can I support you? And I was so taken aback by the question. You're asking me? So you don't want anything, first of all? Second of all, you're not waiting for me to ask you, you're actually actively asking me? And I actually looked at them and said, I'll think about that one, because I didn't have an answer. And it made me realize how in this system of oppressive systemic structures, we become afraid to ask, because we've gotten so used to being rejected that when it was flipped on me, I didn't know what to say. So I guess it goes both ways, and I can sit here and promise that if you reach out to me, I'll be around, and I'll do my best to help in whatever way I can, as long as you're brave enough to do the reaching out. Simple, right?
How can people get access to you?
So you open up a browser and you type in www.rubenbreak.com and you can reach me. So that's my short answer. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's, though, let me see how easy it is. So last time that Virginia actually and I met, I showed her a video of no one less actually than the son of Martin Luther King III, who's actually now involved in a project with the Dutch United Lab and John Michael's Foundation and the Free University of VU. And the joke that I just made, actually, which was a bad joke probably, was real, because what I did to involve Martin Luther King III to our event was really simply send an email that got answered. And yeah, well, you've been there, it's very difficult to describe the atmosphere, but it's really, you know, I really believe that the internet is one of the best inventions actually of mankind. And the underlying premise of the internet is a resilient network, you see. So I really hope that you are able to use that power of the internet to connect with people who you think are outside of your reach, actually, or outside of your network, to create an opportunity that you would never have foreseen before. So, yeah, I hope it's announced. But we already have contact, so yes.
Yes, I want to add something to that, and that's that we, as we sit here conveying our specialty, our business, we also have to be mindful about the questions that can be asked, like yours. And if you would come to me with a certain question that I cannot answer, I know now that I have like a network of professionals in my surroundings that I can directly pass you through, without having to gain any kind of money, because this is a network that we are building. So this is also that I think we have to take in consideration. We cannot solve all the problems of all the people that will come to us, but we can definitely see who can solve them that are surrounding us, you know, networking. So please contact me. If I cannot solve it, I will definitely bring you into contact with some of my peers, you know, that will help you for sure.
What I want to add is a general advice also, is that even though if you want to contact somebody and a person is not available, always reach out to the next person who is almost doing a similar thing. I was doing a research about a settle model, and I needed some people in that company. They never replied me, but when I contacted the CEO, he replied me within a couple of days. And so if one of those shots, you know, there is another door that will open for you, and you need to keep on pushing to get the information that you're looking for.
Now we will close off this panel and transition into the Impact Maker Showcase. However, as I said, nobody walks out without a new collaboration. So I will ask every one of you to share your biggest ask, starting with Elvin. Your biggest ask is not your...
I think it's so diverse that what we need as a community, like this, okay. What we need as a community is so diverse, but if I want to be specific, I work with Neon Black Investments, like I said before. Brian Cedar is the founder, and he is one of the people that really inspires me. So I think Neon Black is one of the persons that really wants to connect with you guys. So yeah, I think Neon Black is definitely the partner to contact now, because we are doing like amazing things right now, and so I think basically that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my ask is probably a bit difficult because I think Karim already mentioned it, that yeah, one of the biggest powers that we actually have is the power of collaboration. But to have to collaborate well, you should also be able to have a healthy communication, actually. And what I noticed during this exploration for the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate, but also more general in my personal life, is that many people from underrepresented groups, such as we are, we have well, often what in spiritual sense people call hippie, which is actually a spiritual or mental burden that we carry with us. And there is a good reason for that, because things have happened along the way which have polluted our subconscious, which make it heavy. But the point is that it's very important to be aware to whom you're actually talking. Are you talking really to another person, or are you talking to your own spiritual burden? So my ask would be compassionate to yourself and sit down with your own dark side before you connect with someone else.
My ask would be two things. I'm going to be a bit political here, if I may. We are going to vote, and I would say cast your vote really on the person that aligns with what you're looking for in the next 4 years in each city that you are living in. And just don't vote because the person has charisma, but really read through what they are writing, what they are not saying. Don't read what is written, but what they are not saying to us. So that is one. And the other thing, if you are looking for somebody to give you advice about as a compliance and legal issue, you can reach out. Thank you.
I think my ask is, don't let yourself be limited. If we manage to do it, so can you. And there are networks out there, there are voices out there waiting to embrace you, waiting to support you in creating your impact. But that genuinely starts with the person sitting next to you. We tend to think of networks as this massive thing, and we think there's going to be this one person that we're going to pull on that has all this power, and that's how we're going to get there. But no. Most of the opportunities that I at least personally landed have come from people I met at this completely random event I was speaking at once. And you never know where it's going to take you, so always be planting seeds. And yeah, Professionally, if you're looking to work on team engagement, bringing people together, building engaged communities within your organizations and or nonprofits, come find me. I was happy to help with that. I was happy to have at least an introductory chat. And if I can't help you, then I have plenty of colleagues that may have inspirational ideas. But think of yourself first and foremost, and what you can offer to the other person before you start thinking of bigger and better. Because I truly believe with every single person in this room, we can make magic together. And it never hurts to try, does it?
Thank you, everyone. We will transition into the Impact Maker Showcase. However, I did saw a hand over there from Brian. Could you maybe come over here for a bit? And to share what you wanted to share before we move to the Impact Maker Showcase.
Hi, I'm Brian Cedar from Neon Black. I have a question for you guys. How do you pay back to your community, and how do you connect to your own community?
I can say that I'm part of this foundation called Lakeside Sisters. Lakeside Sisters, no, they are not my age group. They are all above me, like 60 plus. There are ladies in Den Haag whereby they have problems with either literacy or they are going through some financial disturbance, mental disturbance, you just name it. We are just together to help the society, the people who are living there. So we give back by, I and our team, we give back by giving advice, helping them along the way. So basically we are working as social workers and we are doing it all off charge, and that's how I give back to the society. And what I also do, I give advice to the society by going to various radio stations, talking about what's up, what you can do to overcome certain difficulties in the system, but also opportunities that are there in the system. That's what I do, and that's what I'm known of back in the city that I'm coming from. Thank you.
I give back in several ways, but one is the committee. This week was 1 year, had its 1 year anniversary, and we commemorate the abolishment of slavery. So I live in Stichtse Vecht. That's a really small community, pretty white. But there was nothing done there with commemorating and Kitty Cotton, for example. And even though it's like dominantly white, there is still diaspora there, and they don't have like a voice there. So we started last year, and this year we have our first commemorates, and I'm really proud of that. And with that, we also do education at schools for the children of our community, teaching them about our history, the true history, and creating dialogue tables with the people that live there. So yeah, this is one part that I do. I do several other things, but this is it's really important to give back. It gives energy. So thank you.
So the question was how do you connect and how do you give back? I have a hobby actually that I really believe that through art you can also give a voice to the things that are difficult to speak about, the unspoken aspects of life. So what I do yearly is I select one creative project or artist that I financially support, and through his or her art, more impact can be made. So it's often an awareness project, or it is something related to intersectional art. So that's actually how I give back often. Yeah.
I think for me, I try to give back through my time and my energy and my presence. I hope that the people that know me have got to know me as a listening ear, because that's who I try to be for people. And just this reminder that you can do it. You know, this journey can feel so lonely, so isolating. So if, for me, in whatever opportunity, whether it's moments like these, Virginia picks up her phone and is like, hey, I need you to come talk to these people. Or through advising a friend who's having an issue with setting up her company. Or through connecting a bridge of someone I've come to know I'm always on the hunt for the next opportunity for the people that I love. And I'm so lucky to have such a big community of people that I love that then you end up like building bridges all over the place. So for me, it's this, what I can offer at the moment as a founder, still building my business, still growing is my time. But that I offer happily whenever I can.
Alright, it's a 5-minute break before we go to the Impact Maker Showcase. Let's go. That's amazing. Take your seats once again. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Find your seat once again. Seats. You will I would like to transition to the next phase.
Something like, oh, me too. It was very good.
Everyone, please take your seats. We will have an interface showcase over here. So turn around once again, please. Sorry for the confusion. I would love to introduce to you Vincent Gala from the Afro-Euro Foundation on the stage. So Vincent, someone please stay on the stage.
Thank you, Virginia. It's good to be here. Take a photo with me. My name is Vincent Gabra and Afro-Euro Foundation. I'm the co-founder of Afro-Euro Foundation and the CEO of Afro-Euro Foundation. We organize the Netherlands Business Fair. We've been doing this for almost 50 years. We started doing development projects, but later we found out that entrepreneurship or trade to move more sustainable. So we changed our staff and focus on trade and talking about trade, motivating people to do business between mostly between the Netherlands and Ghana. And now we have also started, this is secret news, I will read it to you this evening. We have started in the Netherlands, Ghana Business Chamber. So we just thank you. So this evening I have the privilege to moderate this wonderful concept from future or outgrowing business people, project coordinators, entrepreneurs, to give them the opportunity to showcase or to tell you what they are doing. But they're not going to only tell you what they're doing, but I think we need to also support them in different ways. What they are doing. If you can put your money in, put your heart in for them. So your money or your heart, which one do you do? Okay. So we will start this program. I think Virginia also asked Afro-Euro to be part of it. Initially, I thought, oh no, we are not going to be part of it. But I'm surprised of how the program is moving. And I think it has a very prospect in the future. This Gala, I see that this is going to grow. I'm surprised to see all of you here, wonderful people, very beautiful ladies, and nice gentlemen. You are handsome. Oh, nice looking man, right? Nice looking man. So I'll ask everyone to keep some questions in mind. You don't have the opportunity to ask them immediately your question, but then not now. Kopi, do you want to say something?
No, I have a serious question.
You have a serious question?
Yeah, about the chamber and about the panel that you did.
Oh, right now.
You're the moderator, so. I know. But I'll keep it short. No, not a serious question. I'm very delighted to hear that the Dutch Ghana Chamber of Commerce is set up. And just recently we listened to the panel, and it was about capital. And regarding that, I'm interested in capitalization. So I was wondering, what is our market capital as African diaspora in the Netherlands? And if we know that, what is the next level that we want to grow to? I'm asking you, the panel, and I'm asking you also, Vincent.
I can sort of answer. So, yeah, it's not per se African, but it's a large chunk. Migrant founders in the Netherlands generate approximately 44 billion euros. So that's quite a big amount, a big chunk. And so you need to take into account that the GDP is sort of 900 billion. While, on the other hand, migrant founders, and then specifically black founders, get 0.1% of venture capital. So the potential is enormous if you would support migrant founders better. So migrant is also with a migrant background, I mean. With financial capital, the backbone would be enormous in that sense. So it's not completely, of course, because you have different migrant founders, obviously, but yeah, specifically people with a non-Western migration background is like 16% of the people in the Netherlands. So yeah, statistically you can, it will be some, at least tens of billions of euros. So I hope this helps.
Thank you for the answer.
Want me to add something to it? This is a cash. What he said is cash, financial. Yeah. But then we have three capitals. That's the social capital, and then also cash, the financial capital, and we have also the third one.
Spiritual.
Social, no.
Spiritual.
Yeah, spiritual? No, okay. Look, when people are selling goods and services to Africa, it's also a big jump of capital that is sending to other people by shipping things and there and there. These all two capitals are small. The biggest one that we haven't touched before is the knowledge capital. We haven't touched that yet. We don't transfer, we don't do anything with our knowledge between there and here. And that one is very huge. So we need to start thinking about that and how to manage it and how to transfer and do things about with it. You can see this room. If you put the knowledge together, it will buy the whole of Schiedam. So we need to do something about it. Okay, let's discuss these things in the near future. My biggest question before we start, or my biggest action, that's what Virginia said, my biggest action is that tomorrow we don't wait. After we don't wait. We just continue. Tomorrow, after this program, tomorrow afternoon, around 5 o'clock, we are having a business workshop. Very beautiful business workshop with this beautiful lady sitting there. She's going to be there. Let's talk about finance and how to start a successful business. It's a small group, it's not big. If you want to come and join us tomorrow. April 15th and 16th, we are having Cocoa Conference. Cocoa Connect Conference in The Hague. If you want to come, you can join. In August, we have Netherlands Ghana Business Fair. So the programs are continuing. The same thing that We talked also about Utrecht people. They are going to also do some things in Utrecht, in Amsterdam, in Rotterdam. But at the end of the year, we need to evaluate all this and see how has it affected personally, society, and country of origin, whether it be Suriname, Curaçao, Ghana, Nigeria, Congo, Kenya. We need to evaluate our activities. The millions of dollars going up and down to other countries, we don't check how does it have effect, the impact of the remittances. Impact of the remittances. We need to check ourselves. Nobody's going to check for us. Okay, we will start with Osset. Madam Osset, please, let's welcome Osset.
I can hold it myself. Yeah. I have 4 minutes. You're going to count them for me? Yeah, I know you're strict. I'm scared of you. Okay, so I wrote everything down because I'm like reciting this like maybe 50 times a day. And when you do that in Dutch, it's kind of hard to switch. So I wrote it down just to be able to get it across. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak here, GINI. Thank you very much for that. My name is Osset Andre, and I'm speaking on behalf of Socialization Plus. I'm going to dive right into it. Have you or someone you know ever been affected by system failure? Like the child benefits scandal? Or being advised below your level at school? Or ethnic profiling? Job or housing or medical discrimination, right? We all recognize these. Personally, I've been a victim of all of these above. Not one of them, but all of them. We call that systemic failure, when law and regulations shut you out. But those same laws come with opportunities. And with the construction of the National Slavery Museum in Amsterdam, with a budget of over 110 million, there's an opportunity that presents itself. Where public money is spent, a legal obligation applies. A percentage must be reinvested in the community. We call that SROI, social return on investment. And we say, as descendants of the very slavery history this museum is being built on, we must have a say in how these funds are being invested. Correct? Right? Here's the opportunity. There's an SRI list of target groups with a distance to educate or labor, education or labor. Municipal can define and add new groups to that list. And not only civil servants can make those adjustments. Citizens can also submit policy changes. So we as citizens propose to add 2 new target groups. System victims, people structurally affected by system failure, and 2 descendants of the transatlantic slavery history due to post-traumatic slavery syndrome, a scientifically recognized phenomena of social injustice described by Dr. Joy DeGruy. Once added, these groups can structurally access to SRY fund to build real infrastructure for youth, families, entrepreneurs, or community and organizations like yours and mine. And this is what you can do to help to bring this change. Scan the QR code, read the initiative, and to be sure, watch the video of the municipal office in Amsterdam. Sign the petition, only if you truly mean it. Share it with your network using hashtag Veranderen doen we samen, because your network is our collective power to make a change visible. Because to get to change, we all need to do something different. Ready to join the movement? Are you in? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You are wonderful. Thank you so much for keeping your time. That is Osset from socialization and African calendar. If you have any question, just keep the question. The jury in the house, you can ask it now. Yeah.
I think really
QR code. I don't have it.
I didn't ask anything, eh? I'm pretty good.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sister Rosette. Now we will move to Niam. Niam,
Yes.
you are welcome. GINI strategist bridging education in space, right?
Yes. Thank you. So, I met Virginia in Delft at an event at Female Ventures, where all women are connected to each other. It was a storytelling night. We both shared our stories and had similar comparisons. I mentioned before, and how I also introduced myself during the music that you played. I remember my icebreaker. Tell something no one knows about you. Something that isn't written or shown on your website, LinkedIn profile, or Instagram or Facebook. Now you're all curious what I shared, right? So I have 2 donor codicils. I had 2 cornea transplantations. Without it, I was blind. So I'm happy people who mark the box on their profile to donate their corneas after they passed away. Because without that, I couldn't see. So because it's very important that you always have a choice. I'm not here tonight to get you to change your donor profile, of course. But I want you to be reminded that every choice you make has an impact on your own lives and on others. We can all make a difference. It doesn't have to be a big gesture. Start with small steps in your environment. From the heart and with kindness. So I'm Nia, I'm 43, I'm married to Mitchell and a mom of 3 daughters. We've got our own barbershop in Delft, and I just started my own as an entrepreneur. Besides that, I'm a teacher at the University of Applied Science in aeronautical engineering. This is info what you can read on my LinkedIn profile. Last year, I got awarded to the Space Lady of the Year 2025, a huge recognition in my work field. I'm the bridge between education and industry, the space industry. With space, I mean like the satellites and instruments with communication purposes or research and development. With this group of the women that I met in the space industry, we combined. We started our own Space Ladies organization, a non-profit organization, and we got an initiative from Changemakers from Australia, and we wanted to bring this to Europe. So actually, we came with each other to Amsterdam, and we decided to do this Changemakers DIY event, and now we got sponsored with 10,000 euros. Wow. And on Monday we're having Nemo, the Science Museum. So there I will bring my students together with the industry to connect and celebrate the diversity, the equity and inclusivity. So. You see my name on the flyer. Try to connect me on LinkedIn because the QR code isn't here. So let's stay connected.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The DEI, Strategies Bridging Education and Space. Nice, nice. So we move forward. I've been hearing a lot of non-profits. Next one should be talking about profit making. Otherwise, I'll stop. I'd like to invite Ahia elders from Living Spice of Rice. Living Spice of Rice. Right? You are welcome, madam. Are you going to talk about profit making?
Maybe I'm going to talk about purpose.
Purpose of making profits?
I like to put my vote.
I'm curious. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, everyone. Nice to be here and nice to see. I see a lot of new faces, so I'm looking forward to the network part to meet several of you. My name is Ahilia Elbers. I was born and raised in the Netherlands, and my roots are from Suriname and India. And I've always been intrigued by different cultures. And it always, especially the communities, the closest communities, they always make me feel like I want to be part of that. It's like giving you a sense of belonging, right? So somehow I did not always feel connected to my own roots. That actually took me 40 years or something. So I'm now 40, so this was an interesting year, I can tell you that. But the thing is, when I was in my teenage years, I grew up in the Netherlands, and I have a lot of the friends who have white skin. So when I went out with them in a bar, suddenly a random guy came up to me and he said, like, you should be ashamed of yourself to spend time with not spending time with your own, with people from your own roots. So I was a bit disconnected by that. And when I went to Suriname for the first time in my life, I was still a teenager, then people said to me, you should be ashamed of yourself because you're not speaking your native language. I think that was one of the reasons that I did not feel that connection to my own roots. But it took me some years and it took me some time to realize, like last year was 50 years in was the celebration. Yes, independence, thank you so much. And I learned a lot about the history, and those are the things we don't always get to be taught in school. So I was like, now I understand why my parents came here to the Netherlands, and somehow my own role became more clear about what I have to do here. People came here to also learn things, but people never returned. So I was like, I don't have to choose where I belong. Home is within me, and I take it wherever I go. And I have two hands, I can reach them out to both sides and connect cultures together. And that goes even further than our own roots. It goes like beyond all borders, like across the world. We can connect and learn from each other, from different cultures. And that's when I decided, like 1.5 years ago, I was in a burnout. And that's actually when I came to the event of GINI, the GINI Impact Gala. So I was there with my brain, like brain fog. And I was there, that's where I met GINI. Yes, and I was also inspired, and I said to her, next time when you have this event, I will be here speaking at your event. And that's exactly what happened now. So during the burnout, I learned a lot about neurodiversity, people who think differently. And I recognize so much of myself in that. It's like, the quick summary is, you have goldfish in a small tank, and you have goldfish who jump out of the tank into the ocean and swim with the whales. That would be me. My brain goes like that. So I'm not made, I came from corporate life. I worked for one of the biggest job searching companies in the world. But I was good at my job, but it wasn't, every time I had to think small, stay small, it was not working for me. So I think those are the things that drive people to burnouts. And I think for me it was really missing a kind of purpose. Like, what is the meaning? Why is my favorite question behind everything? Why is it that we do what we do? So I went back to school. I left the corporate business. That's when I found my purpose, and that's what was giving me healing. Then I was actually giving the space to heal. And then I became a purpose and travel coach. And I want to combine these things. Like I saw, when I was in my burnout, I was really missing something to get out of my own space and travel also. But I could only find like yoga and cacao for mindfulness. That's not me. So I was like, no, I want to learn about the cultures, and I want to learn like how do they live in a slower vibe than always rushing, getting the goals, striving for the money. It's like there is more to life, and there's more about instead of being all individuals, we can all connect together. So earlier this year, I met someone, and he's from Africa. He's from Uganda, and he was such a beautiful soul also, and we shared like the same story, but from different roots. So he was also looking for his home. He was also born in the Netherlands, but he also went to find his roots in Uganda. And he opened up his own travel agency there, and he's actually working with indigenous people and the things that are supporting the locals. And that's the people that I would like to work with, to give back, to use traveling not only for fun and destroying nature and destroying, like the locals are suffering from that. I would like to go there, learn from there, and give back to the people there. And that's the work that I want to do. And as a coach, I'm taking the people from here to there. We're going to learn from the people and apply it to our own lives. What can we learn from it, and how can we take it back? And that is not connected to one country. That's connected to all around the world, and we can do that all together. So I'm on a mission in the Netherlands. I think this was not 3 minutes. I will sum it up. But the thing is, I'm on a mission to change the system here in the Netherlands, because I don't think something is wrong with the system. It is not working for everyone, and I think we can do things differently. So I want to work with therapists, coaches, doctors, also company doctors, also HR. And I think if we start to recognize things already in the corporate life, we can prevent burnouts. And after people go into burnout, there are better ways to get them to quicker healing. And I think purpose and travel can be a part of that. So my big question to you is like, if you know someone who can make an impact on HR, or like doctors or therapists, or you know someone in a burnout who is also struggling with the system, please reach out to me. The QR code is not working now, but I think it will be shared after, right? She is nodding yes, so it will be there. Please scan the code or just come up to me, because we don't only have to be brave to ask questions, but it's also good to be able to receive, give and receive without expectations. And I think we can all make the world a better place. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question before you go with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
But then, before you go and sit down, I'm not going to ask you a question, but before you go and sit down, what is the sustainability plan of your concept? How do you keep it sustainable? This is a question. Yeah.
It's like I do coaching, one-on-one coaching sessions also here in the Netherlands. Also, I can also give trainings, workshops to corporate life, for example, managers, employees, also these people who experience burnout, who are struggling, like I want to do something different, I want to make an impact, but I don't know where to start. Then, yeah, please give me a call. I'm happy to help.
Thank you. That wasn't a question. Additional information. Okay, so we move to the founder and four-time Olympian and the founder of the Beauty of Sport. The Beauty of Sport. So I invite Rina Flo Okari. Senior. Hello, welcome.
Thanks.
Do you run or you jump? You understand my question? Maybe it's a high jumper or it's a 100-meter run. That's what I mean with that.
100 meters hurdles.
100 meters. Oh, that's right. And you run and jump. Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so mesmerized with the beauty of the audience. We have a very nice palette of colors and diverse. And that's who we are, African descendant people. We are the most diverse people on earth. So this is to start. Excuse my English. I speak English with a big French accent. And it is because my parents, they just took me out of Equatorial Guinea and brought me to France. And so I am an African descendant woman with ancestry in Equatorial Guinea and Nigeria, but it doesn't start there. And that's our old story. We've been walking on earth forever, from the beginning. So our ancestry goes beyond our country of origin. And to get to that conclusion, I also had to go into that journey of myself, of discovering what I am running for. So yes, I am a four-time Olympic athlete. Four-time, it means that I have been four-time part of the best in France in the 100 meters hurdles. And to make it to the Olympics, you have to be the first. So I competed at 4 Olympic Games. It means that I spent all my life running track and fields. It started when I was 12 years old. My sport teacher saw that I could run fast. And I thought I was very special, but when I went back to Africa, I understood I'm not special at all. Because it's actually a God-gifted talent. We are so gifted with physical strengths. That physical resilience is part of the African blueprint. And that's why we strive so much in sports. And it's funny because since 1970, 1950, that's the only area where African descendant people are allowed to shine. It's $1 billion industry that is invested in African descendant athletes so that the country gets great. Go USA, go France, you know, go Great Britain, etc. So go Netherlands. Yes, and we all embrace that identity. Even if we come from the Caribs, if we come from Nigeria, if we come from Ghana, our ancestors, they've been traveling and going through different spaces, and we just adapt and we embrace the culture of the country we are, and we embrace the national identity of that culture. So I represented France at 4 Olympic Games, but at 3 Olympic Games, sorry. But I asked my mother, is that all? Please tell me the stories of my ancestors. And I think when we come from Africa and we are in the Western world, we completely forget that we've been here a long time. And someone knows the story of your story who knows the story of your ancestors. And then you get to very far, you get to ancient Africa. You get to prehistorical Africa. which has nothing to do with slavery, has nothing to do with colonization, but it has to do with the biggest empires that were already big, huge in Africa, and this is where African descendant people are coming from. I've been through these such events, and when GINI invited me to come, I was so happy because I get to share a contrarian thinking, and then I will tell what I do. So as an Olympian, can you imagine, you come from all over the world, 170 different countries, big, small, large, medium, red, yellow, you name them. The best of the world, we call ourselves the best of the world, because it's for the passion for sports, but it's also because we dedicate all of our life to be physically, mentally, nutritionally healthy. So we have to train and we have to work with the greatest experts so that we get to the best shape ever. And so I got on that journey, and I had a lot of challenges. For example, nutritional health. I grew up as a French athlete, but my DNA has nothing to do with a French athlete. So I got through many injuries. 4 times Achilles break, surgery, and you know, when you're an athlete and you are injured, it's the end of your contract. But I figured out I came back stronger. Maybe that's my Nigerian part. You know, Nigerian people, they never give up, you know. But I came back stronger. But after 3, 4 injuries, I had to ask myself, how come if my superpower is my physical strength, why do I break down like a glass? And so then I had to go and study genetics, epigenetics, nutrigenomics. It means that, yes, I am a French athlete, but my genetics is equatorial. And people from the equatorial, what do? They were nomads. How do they eat? They eat only what the nature gives them at the most authentic form. Non-genetical food, modified food. No trans, no pesties, none of these things. And I have discovered through epigenetics that even if we adapt in the environment, but our genetics has not evolved in 3,000-4,000 years. So basically we are poisoning ourselves with the food we eat in this Western context. But imagine in top sports, it's no mercy. It's a no mercy area, and because if you break, someone else is going to take your place. Look at these American athletes. Look at these Great Britain athletes. Every year there is a great champion that is coming because we are so many of us. So I finally had to ask myself the question, so what I am running for, or what I am running from? And then I got the answer. Because in this Western context, the lack of connection of our ancestry is what makes us run away from. Because actually, if you are aware of your sovereignty as African descendant people, you are aware of your sovereignty as human being walking on earth. You have nothing to prove. You have nowhere to run. You don't have to run away from. You don't have to show how great you are. And it's not us, we versus them. We are here. We've been here forever. And gosh, I wish I knew that when I was an athlete. Every time I heard the gun, something deep inside was saying, run, 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 run. Instead of, I'm here. The power is here. God gave me that power. I have trained hours and hours. All I have to do is to come, enjoy, rejoice, and just express myself without any sense of proving people wrong. And that's the major narrative that African descendant athletes were going through. But now it's changing. Now it's changing. We are going back to taking ownership of our serenity and our dignity. We go from being athletes who are sponsored by brands to become owners of brands. And this is where I am now. After being a 4-time Olympian, I transitioned into investor. So currently, I'm working with four startups, and one of them is bridging Africa and the Western world. What we do is that we gather the stories that our ancestors used to tell us through storytelling, and we transform them into books, and we transform them into animated movies for children. So this startup is called Bokobo Kids. We are operating in Spain, in Switzerland, Netherlands, not yet in Dutch, but we're coming, and in France. So my question here for that topic in particular is, if one of you remember the stories that their grandparents used to tell them, please come and tell me these stories. We want to gather all these stories and share them. It can be through chanting, through dancing, it can be through storytelling. Just come and share the stories, because that's what Bokobo Kid is about. Second, if you want to use me to understand how to make the bridge between your product, your startup, your events, and my community of like-minded athletes, investors, please come as well. Because indeed, there is enough space for everybody to succeed. I don't like to use this word thrive, because we don't have to thrive. We are already here. And there is enough space for everybody. So I hope I didn't take too much time. I could spend more time, of course, talking about. My company is called Beauty of Sports, and it's about the beauty of sports, not the business of sports. Because, yes, sports is the greatest medium to unleash and unlock your highest potential. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm quickly taking over as Vincent Gamera is getting his car out of the garage. But one of the things that stayed with me is your mention, what am I running for, or what am I running from? So that's very, thank you for that. Okay, next up is Oriana. Love to get you here on stage. Getting out is fine. Okay, so people are looking for. Okay, but fine. That's no worries. Okay, well, good logistical thing. You can get your car out of the garage if you want to. Okay, next. Would love to introduce Oriana. Here you go.
Thank you. It's actually perfect that you were standing here. Because, first of all, hi everyone, but I wanted to start my conversation and my talk by giving a special thank you to you for creating this space, and also to reach out to me and to give me this literal light to show myself and to share my story. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate it and thank you.
It's all about visibility.
Yes. So there we go. I'm going to share my story, and the first part that I would like to share about my story is that it looked so perfect. So perfect. I genuinely thought I had everything. A good job, nice friends, and amazing vacations. On the outside, my life seemed perfect. But deep down, the most important aspect of all was missing. The connection to myself, my connection to God. And because I wasn't connected, I didn't know what I needed. And I didn't know what I needed to be truly happy. I ignored these signals for too long, and eventually this led to a burnout. This was really the most difficult period of my life. But this might surprise you, because it was also the most beautiful one. Because it brought me back in touch with myself and with God, and there's nothing more beautiful than that. Right now, I feel so happy, light, and deeply fulfilled. I literally feel like a different person, and people around me notice it too. It's not like I was unhappy before my burnout, but that was my normal, and I just didn't know you could feel this good. Earlier, I said that I was going to share my story, but I have to be completely honest with you, because I really value integrity. And to be completely honest, this is not my story. It isn't. It's way bigger than that. It's our story. It's our story in which God calls us home. Because you can't be connected to yourself without being connected to God. I used to feel very alone in my journey. But when I started sharing my story, I realized I wasn't alone at all. I realized that a lot of people feel stressed or overwhelmed. A lot of people feel like something deep is missing. And a lot of people are trying to figure out if this is the life they truly want to live, or if this is the life we are taught to want. Ever since I was a little girl, I have always known that this is my life's mission. It's my mission to help people deeply connect to who they really are and help them live a life from this place. But how do you do that? How do you deeply connect to who you really are and live a life from this place? Because it's easy to say, right? I did lots, and trust me, lots of analyzing, and I went through a very deep journey myself. And I've learned that it isn't as much about finding the answer, because the answers are already here. What we people truly need is a safe place to be, where we don't need to perform and where there's room for our darker and more imperfect sides as well. Because this truly heals and provides a space for the answers that are already within us. To start my initiative, I will organize a free online women's circle next Saturday to create a safe space for other women. Like Oprah said, you only need to know your next best step. So this is all I know for now. What I do know is I won't be leading this initiative. God will. And He will let me know the next steps when it's time. If you would like to join me on this journey, our journey, I would be deeply honored. Virginia will send more information, and you can sign up for my email list for both men and women, and I will let you know if there are any meaningful updates. And I promise you, no spam, I don't like that. There's more information about my online women's circle as well, and there's a little gift in it. So now that we are finally done with the more practical side of things, there is one big takeaway I would like to give you. If you feel like something is missing, like something isn't fully right, that isn't a coincidence. It means God is calling you. And you can't ignore it, but He will just knock harder and harder at your door. He's super persistent. So I ask you to listen to this request and to this feeling and to take it seriously. Because the biggest regret that people have at the end of their lives is that they lived a life that's not true to who they really are. And I think you deserve better than that. I think we all deserve better than that. Because we're all God's children after all. I want to thank you from my heart for listening to my talk and for giving me the most precious gift there is, your time and attention. It truly means the world to me, and I would love to stay connected with all of you. Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you. You want to ask question?
You dare not. This is what I wanted to give someone opportunity to ask question. No. No? It's interesting subject. But I wanted us to have maybe, because he has 2 minutes more to take his program, but then people say no. Nobody's saying yes, so I'll meet you privately and ask my questions. I'll meet you. I have 2 questions for you. I like your Connect Academy, the Connect. But people say, not now. So I'll keep my questions. The next person that I'd like to introduce, well, is someone that I really like to hear from her. I met her, but I couldn't ask many questions. And now I've had the opportunity to invite her to come here and tell us her story. And I will really ask questions, even though you like it or not. Let's welcome Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Now I'll get you here, right? I forgot. Before you start, I want to have 2 questions. Should I ask? Maybe. You're going to answer, so I'm not going to ask. Please.
Thank you. All right. Moral capital. Moral capital. So, about 55 years ago, on June the 1st, in 1970, in Suriname, I was born out of 6 siblings. So if you do the math, I'm 55. Then now in 1975, I was in the Netherlands, in a small village nearby Groningen. And then, 10 years ago, I found myself back in Suriname. And during my 10 years in Suriname, I have learned our national anthem. And it's by singing the national anthem, we have one sentence in that anthem. It says, if I have to translate it into English, it said, regardless of how we came here, regardless of how we came here. That's a translated sentence in the Surinamese anthem. And there was one specific time when I was singing that anthem, and this specific sentence got me so emotional, regardless of how we came here. Because I was born there, brought to the Netherlands, and I went back for 10 years. Being in Suriname, I faced a lot of challenges. Because then I discovered I'm black, I'm Surinamese, but I don't fit in. That hurt. And I faced a lot of challenges. And then I was like, you know what? I'm a businesswoman. I know how to do business. So let me go improve myself. Let me start business. I started a business called The Bridge. And the core business of The Bridge is to connect Surinamese diaspora with the world and connect investors with Suriname to invest in my beautiful country. So at one point, I met with Nigerian politicians, and they invited me to come to Nigeria, and we was going to do some cassava business, like a multi-million-dollar business, because, you know, that's what I like. That's what I do. And can you imagine sitting on the plane back from Nigeria to Suriname? I didn't feel good. I didn't feel any sense of pride. And I was like, what is going on with me? Why don't I rejoice? Why don't I, come on, there's a deal we can close for my country. And then I remember that sentence in my national anthem saying, regardless of how we came here, because I was a child when I was brought to the Netherlands. So my upbringing, my mentality, my mindset was European. I had the opportunity of knowing how to ask questions, because as black folks, we're not allowed to ask questions. When you ask a question, then you're too frisky. If I tell you to move, you move. But you see, in the Dutch, the European culture, you are trained to ask questions. And then one day, I said, you know what? What's wrong with my moral capital? Why am I so busy making that money while I already have a business? But what about the children in Suriname that are not granted the opportunity that I have, that you have, that we have? So I rerouted my business into an initiative. And since I have 1 more minute left, I'm going to take you on a road in that 1 minute where I met my moral capital due to one sentence in my national anthem. So what did I do? You see, Suriname is a country that is rich. Oil, gas, agriculture, diamond, gold, everything is in that country. And so I started an initiative where I helped young children in the age between 7 and 17, or maybe 16, 17, to become proud of the soil that they live on. If you have never been to Suriname, try to chew on a bit, spit it out, and go check it out after a couple of weeks. That thing will grow. That's how fruitful our soil is. So now I've found somebody that is equally passionate to train these children to become young agripreneurs. Children in the young age that take pride in working with their hands in the ground and growing vegetables, growing products. And so that thing got the attention of the Minister of Agriculture in Suriname. And about 2 weeks ago, he came to the project, he saw the children, and he decided to open the project officially. So that thing that I was looking for before for myself, I was now granted the grace to plant it within the hearts of these children. And we named it Kids Agri-Future. Kids Agri-Future. And so, what we're going to do is they're going to harvest a very big harvest. And then the president of Suriname, we're going to invite her to come and encourage these young children that are planting. And not only that, we're going to do some expo so they can sell that thing that they had planted in the ground by themselves. And with the money that they earn, we're not going to teach them to spend it on brands and clothing, things like that, and beautiful sneakers. That's good because I like fashion myself. But we're going to teach them how we can put that into a funding so that you can learn how your money can work for you at a very young age. Because the Bible says, train up a child in the way it should go, and it shall not depart from it. We need to train our children out of moral capital. So my big question is this. You see, we're in this room, and I'm a very observative person, and I've observed here. So, as we are here, did you know that we could start a diaspora consortium of money, knowledge, and capital? What was the number? Was it 44 billion? Actually 88. Okay, let's double it. If we stay one more hour, we can double it. Did we ever think to unify? And that it's not about you having millions. It's not about you having billions. It's about you having vision for your money. Money follows vision. So we do things individually. But did it ever occur to you that even as we're sitting here, we can start a diaspora consortium? And we can start with micro investment and have return on investment for our legacy to go. Moral capital. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Very good. I think this is something that was in between missing, and you just fill it in. All the speakers were doing very well, but we just add spicy to it to make it almost cooked meat. Very good. Thank you, Sandra. I was expecting this from you actually, so I like it. Now we are moving closer to the end. So the jury, I think you are busy getting ready for the prize. But before we get to the jury, the audience also, your questions should be ready because the time is very short. And then we will ask Sisa, Akima, and brother Sam, and another brother, Brian, from Yeye Taki. To see you again. Sit down. Sit down. Where are you from?
Rijswijk.
Rijswijk. Close to. Okay. Okay. And Brother Sami?
Sami.
I'm from Amsterdam. Amsterdam. So you are not neighbors, right? No. A little bit. Okay, I'll give you the microphone, and then let's welcome once more Yeye Taki.
Thank you. I greet you on behalf of my ancestors. That's the past, the present, that's us, and the future, our children. It is important to tell who I am. I'm Sister Akima, and I'm an active member of Yeye Taki City, Amsterdam. Yeye means spirit, and spirit is life. There's nothing without spirit. It may look dead, but there's spirit there. So, I'm trying in my best English. This is Brother Sam. He's the founder of Yeye Taki City, Amsterdam. Hello, you all. Hello. Hello. Thank you. I want to know if there's life there. So, we of Yeye Taki City, Amsterdam, we have a moral standard. We don't believe because belief can be deceiving. Because of beliefs, our ancestors were put into slavery because they believed. We want to step out of believing and go into knowing, knowledge. I heard it many times this evening. Let's step into knowledge and use knowledge to become what we're supposed to be. And we can't do that without our ancestors, without spirits, without our spiritual power. So we work on that. But we don't say that, we do that too. Because it is important to do what you think in your head, in the purity of your mind, of your thinking. That's where we come from. That's our foundation, our ancestors and the other spirits which carry us. In the thinking of that, in that thought, we organize events. And every Sunday, we call it Kwasiada because Sunday is a word we don't want to use. We say Kwasiada in one of the Akan languages. We come together as a people to heal, to restore, to become again who we're supposed to be as a people. So this year, we're organizing some events. And our Windybeurs Fair is one of the events. I think you heard of it earlier this evening. At the Windybeurs, we come together in our power, in our creativity, in our thoughts, and in the pureness of our being. That's important. Because when we have knowledge, we got to know where it comes from. Isn't it? When we step into something, we got to know where we're going. If you don't know that, you will be deceived. And knowledge is something that's not deceiving. I can have knowledge, I can know something, but I can bring you into believing what I know. And with that, I can deceive you. But we of Yeyataki City, Amsterdam, we are working on our people, on us as a people, to restore, to purify again what was done to us, to our ancestors. Because sometimes we think we are there, we made it. But when we hear burnout, then we know there's still work to do. So we call on our people, as a people, to come together and restore, purify again. Let's come together with all we have, but in pureness of our thoughts. That's Yeyataki City, Amsterdam. Thank you. We have a surprise for you. We will demonstrate with our spirituality, and we will speak to you, with you, in the way we do this on Sundays, on Kwasiadas. When we begin our meetings and when we end our meetings, we call upon our ancestors which are in line with us. Because there are ancestors who are not in line with us. It is important to be in the purity of your own thought. So I invite my brother, Ryan Lados, to help me with this part. Brother Sam has taken it upon himself to film us, so he will not speak today, but I will give Brother Ryan the microphone to demonstrate something for us.
Good evening, I'm Ryan Lados. I will do the prayer. I will do it in English so that everyone can understand and have the feeling what we're gonna talk about. Sister Akima, thank you for holding the calabash. There is water in it that stands for life, that stands for clarity, that stands for connection, and that stands to, between us, between our ancestors before we came at every place, anywhere we meet. But important is that when we are making a connection, that we do understand that we are different, that we are not the same, not just by thought, not just color, not just hair, but we all are human beings. And the most important thing that we need to understand is that through communication, we can learn to understand. We need to learn to listen, not just for hearing someone out, but listen, so that the connection can be made, so that we can work together. Because if we are not listening and hearing what the person is saying, we will miss the message. We will miss the message that will bring us together to make a better place for our children. We are now working and putting steps in, but let's not forget that we also need to take them into the steps, because we cannot say, I'm building an empire for you guys, but you are not including them. Let's include our children in the history that we are making, in the empire that we are building. We need to be cautious about the things that we are doing and saying. Every word has an action, and every word has some power in it that can make or break something. Let's stand in our power. Let's be mindful about the words we speak into existence, because the universe will bring it back in another kind of way. That's why when we are praying with water, we are asking for clearance, asking for patience. Let's have more understanding with each other. We can fight today, but let's come back together and have an understanding. What did I not hear correctly? What do we need to change? Let's have peace with ourselves and with other people. I heard a lot about connecting and bringing each other together, but let's have an understanding that not just by working together we will make it, but by listening and feeling and have appreciation for the steps that we are taking, because our road is not an easy one, but it will not always be difficult. Sometimes we need to hold each other and say we will get through it together. Not for today, but also for the days coming. So when we are working, let's be mindful that we all have a journey. It will be different, but let's have peace and understanding. And let's use our words to communicate better with each other, so that we can stand in that power, and so that the earth can grant our wishes and grow from the seeds that we are planting. That's what spirituality is about, but that's also what we as human beings are about. When you are born, you grow. You make mistakes, but you also can correct them. So let's have that peace and keep in mind that when we are growing, when we are building, we will not fight each other, but we have understanding of the steps that we are taking so that we can get where we are today and where we will be tomorrow. So have a breath, take a step back, and enjoy the ride, even if it's difficult, but enjoy it, learn from it, and keep on understanding and have peace in every step that you take. Thank you. Yeah. So, like we do it in Suriname, I will go to my native language. I will explain that. Begi, begi, throw watra fu teri ini wasma, teri ini dembung konfu, debigi sma di wakana we fesi fu opapasi, fu sani fu isa wakamorobung, lekfa ukomakandra anofu wam chinsani, mafu wam bigi brakseri, wam bigi sani di muchakri kong, di muchabung kong fu lusu sa usa feni lusu, madati dem ching fu wi sa feni bung, sa fena rostu diwe suku, sa fena lobby diwe membre wisrefi, a bung diwe suku na alase fu gadro gruntapu. Ma lekfa wi de begi, lekfa wi de taki, da maka sate, maupunu akoni asabi, fafu abra de liba de sula de squala, di sa usabit na pasi, pika tewe tu we mek muiti fu leri, we mek muiti fu chabung, e ubawa moro bonsani, e libi wa moro bonsani, na dati soso te yu de kring nanga yu srefi, nanga wa trawang, ne u kan gro, ne u kan begi, ne u kan uroko, ne u kan seti. And it means that what I prayed about is that we need to be honest with each other. Because only when we are honest with each other and honest with ourselves, we will understand the path that we are taking. We will build better, we can work better with each other. We don't have to be afraid. Just be honest enough with yourself, and then the right people will come on your path to guide you, to help you build. We cannot do it alone, and we are not alone in every step that we take. Remember, there are 400,000 people that were before you, and they have the power to guide you, to strengthen you, to build with you, you just need to ask, and they will help you clear the way, clear the path that you need to be on so that we can grow together. So let's not be scared of that power. Let's not be afraid of our ancestors. Let's not be afraid of our brother or our sister. But let's send in the power and let them guide us to be better people, and so that we can grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fatinia.
Time is running. My name is Ewa Lucas. I am the director of the Nancy Institute in Utrecht. We are a Pan-African institution. We're built on 4 pillars: education, entrepreneurship, wellness, and culture. And when I say culture, I'm talking about black culture, African culture, Pan-Africanism. So, if you're ever in Utrecht, in the future, you might come and visit. Thank you. Because one of the things, just 1 minute, I got 30 seconds. Because one of the things that are important in Utrecht right now, we're busy is building. Because to create safe space, we need to have our own space. So next year, we hope to have our own place so we can build together. So I would like to invite y'all to Black Achievement Month that we're organizing in Utrecht in October. We're putting it on all our social networks. So please come join us, come sit with us, come eat with us, come talk with us, because we're trying to build community. Not only in Utrecht, but across the country. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're allowed to, right? No one has a question. So, Kojo, wait. Yeah, man. Are you there? I'm here. Can you get up and say something? Today I'm just on the end of this. Come. Whilst we're waiting for the jury, someone has a question of 1 minute contribution to what you need, or you want to buy somebody's, invest in somebody's idea, or, say something. I think all the speakers did very well.
All the speakers did very well, so we need to say something for the public, for the audience. If you can say something, just 1 minute. You want to say something? Okay, please come. Please come. Just investing in their ideas, just partnering with them, just say something to motivate them. To invite people to this evening? Another event, of course.
Hello, thank you. Hello everybody, my name is Kimberly Snoyel. I'm from Utrecht, so I'm really happy to hear about the Anansi Institute. Yeah, also from Utrecht? Yeah. Well, I'm someone who also does a lot of initiatives. My core business now is net therapy, neuro-emotional therapy, is trauma therapy, to heal yourself and to become closer to yourself, like I hear a lot of people talking about this evening. So really nice. I'm also, I organize a collective, so I'm someone who does I have my own company, but it's really hard to do it alone. And why would we all have our companies alone? We're all talking about connections. So I made a connective initiative. It's called Healing Collective, the Healing Collective, where a lot of people who are spiritual entrepreneurs, spiritual women entrepreneurs who are working together. So we have an event, I think it's already next week, March 8th. That's Internationale Vrouwendag, International Women's Day? Women's Day? Yes, yeah. So that's an event where spiritual entrepreneurs can come together and we will tell our stories. So we are all invited.
Spiritual entrepreneurs, what do you sell or what do you...
I'm a net therapist, so that's neuro-emotional integration, and it's a way to heal your traumas, to let go of traumas, ancestral traumas, previous life traumas, and also normal traumas in your childhood.
Okay, that's very good. We have a lot of spiritual businesses these days. So I think the spiritual businesses tend into physical cash because we're not going to spend our euros in spirit, right? And we're not going to fly to where?
Earning money with our born talents. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah? Okay, 1 minute. My name is Indra Jallo. You just saw me performing with the harp. I used to be an international business lady, and I came from being corporate life. So I actually want to also talk about profits, but also if you want to make profits, you need to be in contact with yourself. So I also found that out. So I used to be a very successful change management consultant. I almost burned out. So it was actually because I didn't have a great foundation in myself. So I was separated from my family when I was 1 year old because of a lot of failed systems, racism, trauma, loss. So I built up my own life, but in a very successful, focused on profit. I was only 11 years old when I decided I'm going to make a lot of money because I don't want to be like my parents. That took me 28 years, that road. But I really realized like it's all about also having the connection to your heart. And if you have a clear connection with your heart, with spirit, or with the source, or how you will call it, you can take great action with your brain. So I switched up my career, and I'm now really working on an initiative to help people build a foundation. So build a foundation, build a house within yourself, which is a bit of spiritual. I use also my music in it. But you need that to make a difference in the world, to really make perhaps a profit with which you can make a difference in the world. So my initiative is called Find Your Tribe, and it's all about how to build a house within yourself, how to set boundaries, how to take great action into the world. And I am releasing my music also surrounding this, and also a couple of events. So I wanted to take this minute to also showcase this side of myself and invite you all to check out my work. And where you can check out, online, indrajallo.nl. And I share a lot about my journey, personal journey, about finding your tribe, finding your home, also on social media and networks. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think.
Good evening, I'm Brian Schiedam. Yes. Yes. I would like to speak a bit. I would like to talk about making profit. Because, first of all, I'm Brian Schiedam. I'm from New Black. My background is investment banker. I come from, I've worked in the US for 22 years, and I was an investment banker at Blackstone Investments. But I would like to talk about making money in this environment. We can always talk about our spiritual part, very important, you know. We have Sister Akima. I love Sister Akima, she's speaking truth. But we also need to make money because we are living in a system that values money, that values our voice. Our voice is been taken seriously if we contribute financially into the system. And we can have an opinion about it, something is true, not true, but at the end of the day, we need to have commercial power, we need to have earning power, because we need buildings, we need cars, we need stuff to build ourselves up. And with that, we need money. So at Neon Black Investments, what we do, we look at the diaspora, and we are finding and looking for projects that we can help build, not only from a money point of view, but also from a knowledge point of view. So, and one thing we also don't do is that we believe that we are people of power, and we also believe that not every time we have a trauma. Some traumas we have taken, that we have brought into ourselves. Because if you speak long enough about your traumas, it will become a bigger trauma. We need to stop adding more troubles to our troubles, and we need to start building from our strength, not from our weakness.
I have a business. I need some money tomorrow to put in my business. What are we going to do?
First, we're going to have a chat because that is not how it works. That's not how the system works. How it works is that you're going to have a conversation, and we're going to have to look at your plan to see if it's viable. Can we make money? Is it true? Is your system correct? Is your way of thinking correct? Because money is nice to bring in, because don't forget, this is not my money, this is people's money. And for people to invest in you, we need to be sure that you know what you are doing. That you have the right team, you have the right managers. That is how we make money.
Where can we find you?
Neonblack.nl.
Neonblack.nl. Tomorrow or tonight? One minute. You go to him.
Okay, you can always call me. I only speak 24 hours a day.
We are going to invite you here next year. The people are going to come also to say if they have been able to reach you and the result of what is going to happen from now to next year.
But they also need to know that I am not from the bullshitting part. I will tell you what I really think.
No problem.
And if you don't like that, please do not.
No, we would love to see you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I have to do it. Okay, let's say anything. Before Caroline speaks, tomorrow we are preparing people to meet the black, what's this man's name? New Black. Neon Black. We are meeting tomorrow. Are you prepared to go to Neon Black Monday? Tomorrow evening in the heart, there is a meeting of preparing ourselves towards Neon Black institution or convention. So if you are in the head, sorry. So if you want to get yourself ready for Neon Black on Monday, come to the Hague. We are preparing 10 people to Neon Black, and we are hoping that 50% of the people will win and take your capital to start next month. Madam.
Hi, I'm Caroline Williams. Yeah, 1 minute. I'm the founder of We Make Trouble, and what I wanted to say, because some of the founders that I have worked with are in this room, Joe and Virginia, one of the things that we all can do is choose where we source. So when we look at the community around us, the biggest thing that builds these businesses and these initiatives and these programs is us choosing where we spend our euros, our dollars, whatever, with spend in your community, because that's the step before the investment comes around. That's the step that helps every day to build all of these businesses that are starting with, that are impact first and will make a difference. And we all just spend 10% of our budgets with the entrepreneurs that we believe in and support in our communities. We start to right a lot of the inequity without waiting for anyone else's permission. So that's all I want to say, and I want to thank you for inviting me.
Okay, the jury. The chairman of the jury. The chairman of the jury. The chairman of the jury. I know that you're going to be the chairman. That's right. No. There you go. All right. So,
there is so much to say, but I know we're tight on time, so I'll try to keep it short because we're all so eager to find out what the jury had to say about the showcase. But I do think it was such a difficult decision because each person that came up here brought their full heart and soul. I think, I'll be honest with you, it was not what I was expecting. You know, you go to a lot of these semi-quasi pitch competitions and you find out nothing about the person in front of you. You find out maybe, you know, their margins, that their target groups, a very simple, this is what I do, this is what I've done it for, and that's that. I think what I admire about the space that Virginia has really built for us is this opportunity to connect deeper with who we are and why it is we do what we do. What that means to us, what the journey was that brought us to where we are today. And I think I can only speak for myself and then a bit of the reflections of the jury. But for me, what I learned today is that the voice of the system and the voice of whiteness, to be frank, is alive and well within me, and I'm sure within a lot of you. I can go back to the second edition of DNNL, the Dutch New Narrative Lab, a few years ago, and that was my first time in a room full of people of color since I moved to the Netherlands. And I remember my first instinct being complete and utter fear. I was raised in whiteness. I was raised in international schools. I was raised in a context where my grandparents were both international business people. My entire existence relied on my ability to assimilate into a Western context. I was taught to speak fluent English and French, exposed to so many different cultures, a bit of American, a bit of French, a bit of Dutch now that I lived in the Netherlands for almost 8 years. But what's proud of my Egyptianness in terms of the fact that look at what my grandparents worked so hard in their industry. Our industry is furniture, to get where they are. It was a very personal pride, not necessarily a national. I always believed in this concept of global citizenship and the sort of you belong anywhere in the world as long as you speak the right languages, have the right attitude, you walk into any room and you run the place. Very quickly I realized that's not going to happen for me in the Netherlands, at least not easily. And I felt very lonely because I was like this sort of in-between person, right? Not brown enough to belong with all the African people. Not Arab or Muslim enough to belong with the Arabs or Muslims. Not white enough to be white either. Not gay enough. Not disabled enough. So on and so forth. But I think today has helped at least me feel a little less lonely. And remember that impact is about so much more than just finances. I think, don't get me wrong, financial capital is important. We all got to keep the lights on. So don't think I'm not talking about money. However, we've become so consumed by building teams, building margins, corporate clients, that's such a loud voice within us. While the impact we can make today is right here, in this room, hearing each other out, investing in each other, and opening small doors for new possibilities. Today we heard so many possibilities of uplifting talent, allowing African sports people to become investors, and bringing ancestral stories back. Sort of community initiatives and bringing support circles. We heard of so many, maybe less obvious ways, less directly sexy ways, less, the next big thing ways of creating transformation. And I hope we take that to heart as we consider who we support, who are the voices we choose to uplift, and what it means to be an entrepreneur. Because the next great entrepreneur to me is the person who's digging down in the mud and helping people out. Not the, I just made $300K off of this contract. Not the next tech AI, ChatGPT rapper person. Not that those aren't valid entrepreneurial journeys, but ours as impact entrepreneurs are valid too. We are all valid in our journeys. We are all valid in our light. And I thank you for what you've all shared today as we move on to announcing our chosen winners, I guess. Alright, well, the rest of the members of the jury, please join me to announce their respective individuals. So, what do we want to start with? Do you want to kick us off?
Okay. Well, thank you again, everyone. It was wonderful to feel the energy tonight, but it was really difficult to make a choice as a juror to make a decision on who gets like an award or a prize, because what I felt was soul in all of the beautiful pitches that were made. It was like a part of your soul that you left here, and we felt it. But then again, there always has to be like a choice, and I got the NGO awards to convey, and it was a hard one for me. I cannot explain it otherwise, because we are such a tight community, and of course we know one another. Even though, that said, I am objective, and I will look at everything, and I will look at the future of our children. This is something that's really, really important for me. And as we look into the future for our children, for the next generation, I think it's really important to be rooted. So, with that said, there were two projects that were really, really near to my heart. So it was really difficult to make that decision. But then again, I made it, and also in collaboration with the other jurors, I decided to give this award to this organization that needs our support, not only for now, not only for tomorrow, but for longevity, for, like I said, for the next generation. That's why I made the decision to give this award to Yeyataki. And I want to ask Gala to come here forward to also give this opportunity. Sisa Akiba, Ganasam, Raya Larus. Again. I also want to bring to this stage another person that I hold dear to my heart and I believe thoroughly in, and I will support also for the upcoming future, and that's Auset. It was between those two that I had to make a decision on the NGO, and Auset. But I know that, but this is what I mean, they are working together already, so that's why I know this award goes to the both of them, and it's wonderful to see, it's wonderful to do this, because I know how hard they work, I know how, with all their soul they're doing this, so yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I'm standing here on the shoulders of my ancestors. I'm standing here and now, thinking about our children, thinking about our legacy, the legacy we inherited from our ancestors, but what are we going to do to leave a better world behind for our children? Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to say that change comes with change. There's nothing in this world that doesn't come with change. The only thing that doesn't change are the things that are not limited to time, but nothing is. So for us to join hands together in a way that we do now, I think that's the most important thing that we can do, because we're building on the shoulders of others, but we're also going to build a legacy for others to stand on us. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Huh?
I'm Ruben Brave. I was assigned the category established businesses. Yeah, well, I told you before that I'm the founder of the Dutch Remunerative Lab, an initiative giving a boost to businesses with underrepresented founders. And I think Virginia, I think you really had it very correctly that yeah, it's about different types of capital that we are looking for. But it's also about the transformation, actually, of these different types of capital. So it's good to have maybe an excessive amount of one type of capital, but it's also important to have the capacity to transform it in something else. And I think that fluidity in capital is actually key to have impact, to build momentum, to even maybe create a movement in society. So first of all, I would like to thank all the applicants, of course, who have given their showcase to us. I would like to thank, of course, Virginia again for hosting us, because I think visibility and honorable recognition is important for actually every founder, every business. Yeah, so without further ado, I would like to first say that this initiative really does this. This initiative combines different types of capital and different types of perspectives actually, and it actually also revitalizes very key aspects of the economy in the broader sense of the word, and it also gives meaning to how we connect with ourselves, but also to the soil that we are connected with. I think I can say that the winner is Sandra Essebo, founder of GINI. You had a great speech. You had a very inspiring story, and what I really liked and that really resonated with my own entrepreneurial journey is that the moment when you came back from Nigeria and you realized that you had a different relationship with money actually. And not to put the spotlight on my journey, but what I can resonate with that is when I was mostly active as an entrepreneur, the relationship with money, my relationship with money was negative. You see, and I realized that had something to do with the colonial heritage that I come from. So redefining my relationship with money actually gave me more control over the money that I earned. So I think you're a great example for that. And I would like to give you the word now. Yes.
Okay, well, the funny thing is that I didn't even know that there was a jury. That's okay. And, you know, I'm grateful because thank you so much for choosing me. Thank you. But thank you for choosing moral capital. Thank you for choosing moral capital. And to me, this is also inspiring, Virginia, because you're the one, Virginia and I, we met at the presidential palace where I was invited in Suriname. And then we just had this spontaneous, hey, hi, kind of way. And today, I'm here in the Netherlands, standing next to you in your event. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for seeing me. You know, thank you for seeing me. And I believe that you know the principle of sowing seeds. And I cannot imagine that it will take you beyond places that you cannot even imagine. So I celebrate you also for that. So I think with this award, there's another important step that we're taking, and that is the gap between the diaspora, the Surinamese diaspora, and Suriname. This award, it's bridging the gap. It's showing that.
Mijn naam is Abdullah Hussein van Omroep Afronet. We waren bij een hele leuke event en we gaan zo meteen aan een heel leuk iemand vragen om te vertellen wat voor event waren, wie is hij en wat hij van het event vindt. Wil jij vertellen wie jij bent en waar we zijn nu?
Nou ja, ik ben Brian Seder van Neon Black. Neon Black Investments. We zijn nu bij de GINI Impact Gala. Het is een gala voor de Afrikaanse diaspora. Waar we gaan praten over dingen die we doen. Hoe wij als diaspora een impact kunnen maken in de huidige Nederlandse samenleving. En wat we allemaal kunnen doen. En hoe we gezamenlijk moeten werken om tot een bepaalde doelstelling te komen.
Dat is wel mooi. Ik heb gezien dat eigenlijk niet alleen maar investors waren hier, maar ook echt studenten, acteurs, muzikanten. Eigenlijk de zaal was vol met talenten. Hoe belangrijk dat is eigenlijk voor zwarte mensen of de zwarte gemeenschap om zo'n event te kunnen organiseren voor hen?
Nou, het is in eerste instantie geweldig dat Virginia dit heeft georganiseerd. Het is belangrijk, het is cruciaal. Het geeft ons zichtbaarheid, maar het geeft ons zichtbaarheid naar elkaar toe. Is dat we weten dat we er zijn en dat we belangrijke dingen doen. En dat we allemaal een onderdeel zijn van die puzzel. En dat we dus bij die puzzelstukken allemaal bij elkaar kunnen komen en een groter geheel kunnen maken. En impact kunnen hebben in deze maatschappij.
En natuurlijk elkaar ook kunnen helpen. En ik heb ook gehoord, meerdere mensen hebben ook verteld, ja, geld is belangrijk, maar geld is niet de allerbelangrijke dingen. We moeten aan heel veel dingen werken, we moeten elkaar helpen. Maar ik heb jou een hele andere dingen horen zeggen. Vertel.
Ja, ik vertel een heel ander verhaal. Ik vertel het commerciële verhaal. Het verhaal is dat we moeten in deze maatschappij, we leven in corporate Nederland. Geld, geld, geld. Macht, macht, macht. Geen geld, geen macht. En ik geloof dat we dus geld moeten maken om die impact te kunnen maken. Dus al die andere dingen die je vandaag gehoord hebt, zijn ook belangrijk. Over mental health, over het geestelijke. Het zijn allerlei aspecten die heel belangrijk zijn.
Die hebben ook geld nodig trouwens.
En die hebben ook geld nodig. Maar mijn verhaal is van luister, laten we businessen starten. Laten we geld creëren, zodat onze gemeenschappen niet afhankelijk zijn van de witte gemeenschap als het om geld gaat. En dat we niet onze mensen steeds moeten laten vernederen bij banken als ze een project willen doen. Laten we dit gezamenlijk doen en gezamenlijk deze groep, onze eigen groep, helpen om ondernemingen te starten, zodat ze hun gezinnen kunnen supporten. Zodat ze een business kunnen opbouwen en winsten kunnen maken die ze kunnen gebruiken voor de dingen die zij belangrijk vinden.
Ja, mooi. Een hele mooie en duidelijke verhaal. Maar ik ben net afgestudeerd. Ik heb mijn MBO 4 diploma. Ik heb heel veel ideeën en die ideeën wil ik ook gaan uitwerken en andere mensen vragen. Maar ik heb geld nodig om dat te kunnen regelen. Waar moet ik naartoe met mijn ideeën?
Nou, kijk, in eerste instantie ideeën. Iedereen heeft ideeën. Sommige mensen hebben 100 ideeën. Dat betekent niet dat ze alle 100 de moeite waard zijn om een bedrijf te beginnen. Ja? Dus je hebt een gedachte en je hebt een realiteit. Ik deel met de realiteit. En de realiteit is dat we moeten gewoon goed kijken van nou, welke van jouw ideeën lossen iets op? Welke van jouw ideeën staat de markt op te wachten? Nogmaals, leuke ideeën, maar niet alle leuke ideeën zijn leuk om te doen. Mensen stoppen geld in jouw ideeën. Dat betekent dat alleen de ideeën die zeg maar levensvatbaar zijn, die willen ze hebben. En wij van Neon Black, wij helpen mensen zoals jij die een idee hebben om te kijken hoe we het idee kunnen brengen van concept naar lancering. Nou, en dat is wat wij doen bij Neon Black.
Heel erg mooi en dankjewel. Ik ga gewoon sowieso vragen om alle mensen die hun ideeën hebben in de comment hier opschrijven. En we regelen wel een afspraak om jouw ideeën uit te werken. Zij hebben geld. Het geld is niet van hem trouwens. Het is van alle andere mensen ook. Hij en nog andere mensen. Dus wees zuinig. Vertel eerlijk jouw ideeën. En we komen bij jou langs.
Nou, geweldig. Nou, hartstikke leuk. Jullie zijn van harte welkom.
Oh, heel erg bedankt voor vandaag. Hallo lieve mensen, Abdullah is hier van Afronet. En wij hebben een hele leuke bekende gast. Wij kennen elkaar, maar de publiek kent hem misschien niet. Daarom gaat hij vertellen wie hij is en wat hij doet. Alsjeblieft.
Hallo, mijn naam is Leroy Lucas. Ik ben de directeur van de Anansi Instituut in Utrecht.
Oh, dat is heel fijn. Dankjewel. Wat voor groep is dat eigenlijk?
Wel, wij zijn een Pan-Afrikaanse organisatie die best wel cultural-based is. Anansi Instituut rust op 4 pijlen. Wij zijn dik in onderwijs. Wij stimuleren ondernemerschap, wellness, mental welzijn en natuurlijk African culture.
Oh, dat is wel echt heel leuk. Hebben jullie soms hele leuke muziek?
Nee, wij maken geen muziek, maar we organiseren wel events waar muziek gespeeld wordt. En die is voornamelijk African natuurlijk.
Oké, dat is heel fijn. Vandaag natuurlijk zijn we bij een hele bijzondere leuke event. Wil jij vertellen, wat heb jij geleerd en wie heb jij ontmoet hier vandaag?
Ik heb veel interessante mensen ontmoet. Het was een hele leuke meetup, dankzij Virginia. Dus ik wou even via deze pad ook Virginia bedanken voor een prachtige event. Met heel veel prachtige mensen. En ook heel veel mooie ideeën. En ik denk dat dit soort events echt super belangrijk zijn voor de black community. Want het is goed dat we ook ideeën met elkaar delen. En laten weten wat we aan het doen zijn met elkaar. En laten zien dat we niet alleen maar naar achteren kijken, maar dat we ook naar voren kijken. Ik hoorde ideeën over entrepreneurschap, over welzijn. Ik bedoel, dat zijn dingen die de Anansi Instituut natuurlijk heel erg raken. Dus ik vond het een heel mooi event. En ik kijk uit naar het volgende.
Oh, dat is wel heel erg fijn. En heb jij zelf een ideetjes gepitcht bij deze mensen? Want het is eigenlijk een netwerkmachine hier ontstond. Iedereen praat met elkaar.
Absoluut, zeker. Ik heb met de dagvoorzitter even mogen praten. En die zei meteen van, hey, jij moet even naar voren komen om te praten over Anansi. Dus ik heb mijn kans genomen om dat ook even te doen. Verder heb ik natuurlijk genetwerkt met hele interessante mensen die misschien in de toekomst wat voor Anansi zouden kunnen betekenen.
Ja. Oké, Abdullah zijn van Afronet en ik heb vandaag een hele bijzondere gast. Die gaat zo meteen vertellen. Wie is zij en wat zij heeft gedaan allemaal. En zij gaat vertellen wat zij heeft gewonnen. Allemaal ga jij zo meteen horen.
Hi, the sleeping man. Dat is hoe ik jou nu ga onthouden. Nee, ik ben Sandra Esseboom, weer founder van The Bridge, Diaspora. En ik was vandaag te gast at GINI's Impact Gala. En het was een geweldig gala. Het was zo rijk aan verschillende mensen vanuit Afro-diaspora. Zoveel initiatieven. En dan vraag ik me soms af, wat jammer dat we elkaar niet eerder vinden. Wat jammer dat we elkaar niet op een andere manier kunnen vinden. Maar alles heeft zijn tijd. Alles heeft zijn moment. En vandaag was het moment om kennis te maken met andere diaspora-ondernemers. Of het nou om NGO's gaat. Of mensen die in de corporate business zitten. It was a blast.
Yes, salam alaikum, Abdul van Afronet hier. En wij hebben een hele bijzondere persoon bij ons. En die heeft een hele leuke, fijne verhaal verteld. Iedereen dacht dat ik aan het slapen ben. Ik heb mijn ogen alleen dicht gedaan. Dus zij gaat nu heel kort vertellen wat haar initiatief is. Wie is zij? En waarom is zij eigenlijk vandaag hier gekomen?
Nou wat lief. Bedankt voor de lieve woorden. En bedankt dat ik hier even mijn verhaal mag doen. Ik ben Oriana. Ik zeg altijd, ik ben een oude ziel, een kind van God. Ben er helemaal open ingegaan vandaag. Maar ik heb verteld over mijn initiatief waarin ik mensen wil helpen om zich diep te verbinden met wie ze echt zijn. En te leven vanuit deze plek. En om te beginnen organiseer ik volgende week zaterdag een online women's circle. En verder laat ik het aan God over. Ik weet alleen de eerstvolgende stap. En ik zeg ook, hij leidt het, ik niet. En ik hoor wel wanneer en wat de volgende stap is wanneer het tijd is. Maar als je het interessant vindt, laat het me vooral weten. Oriana Bos. In ieder geval heel bijzonder om samen op deze reis te zijn. Want ik merk eigenlijk dat we ons allemaal alleen voelen. Maar dat het eigenlijk allemaal hetzelfde is. Dat we allemaal iets dieps missen. Ons gestrest voelen en ons allemaal afvragen, is dit het nou echt? Of hebben we geleerd dat dit het is? En ik denk toch echt dat wij allemaal meer verdienen dan dat. Dus ik zou zeggen, laten we onszelf dat gunnen en die ruimte samen creëren. En het lijkt me heel bijzonder om samen met jullie op deze reis te zijn.
En hoe vond jij het vandaag?
Ja, We zijn op het GINI Gala. Ik vond het heel bijzonder. Ja, het is moeilijk uit te leggen, maar de energie. Heel veel verschillende mensen, verschillende achtergronden. Maar ik zie wel een bepaald soort authenticiteit dat je niet heel erg vaak op die manier in het dagelijks leven ziet. Ook met jouw toespraak trouwens, dat raakte mij heel erg erin. Omdat het zo echt was. En dat voel je gewoon, dat het vanuit je hart komt. En ik denk ook wel allemaal een drang om iets goeds te doen en een positieve impact te maken. En iets te creëren wat groter is dan mijzelf. Dus dat werkt heel inspirerend.
Oh,